Hi guys, so I'm frankly getting a little tired of Brexiteers in Northern Ireland. They campaigned for Brexit, they voted for it, and they still support it. They have taken the protocol to court and failed. They've asked Boris Johnson to trigger Article 16 and he has done nothing. They asked Lord Frost to trigger Article 16 and he did nothing. And they also have asked Liz Truss to trigger Article 16 and she's done nothing. Brexiteers in England, like the ERG, have thrown the DUP and other unionist parties under a bus, yet they struggle on. Here is Jeffrey Donaldson, the leader of the DUP, in what I can only describe as absolute desperation.
As Lord Trimble, one of the key authors of the Belfast Agreement, has stated, the protocol fundamentally changes the constitutional relationship between Northern Ireland and the rest of the United Kingdom.
I frankly don't care what David Trimble said, because the UK government have said that it does not change the relationship between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The Irish government have said that the relationship between Northern Ireland and Great Britain has not changed. The European Union have said the same thing, and the United States have said the same thing. So the only people who are suggesting that something has changed is Brexiteers in Northern Ireland. I'm sorry, but your own government, the British government, does not share your view.
And he went on to say that this amounts to a seismic and undemocratic change in the constitutional position of Northern Ireland and runs contrary to the most fundamental premise in the Belfast Agreement and Section 1 of the Northern Ireland Act 1998. These are strong words.
Jeffrey Donaldson represents the DUP. The DUP were against the Good Friday Agreement or the Belfast Agreement. So now they're coming out and saying it needs to be respected. So the DUP voted against it back in the 1990s, and now they're coming out in defense of it. I don't believe you. But also, you don't have a leg to stand on. The British government have said that the constitutional position of Northern Ireland has not changed.
Last week, the Court of Appeal in Northern Ireland concluded that the constitutional guarantee, also known as the principle of consent, only relates to a change in the formal constitutional status of Northern Ireland. In other words, the final and ultimate question.
And you did not win the case. Well, not him explicitly, but it was Kate Hoey and some others who took the protocol to court, basically, and they failed. The judge said this is a political issue, not a legal issue.
Such an analysis would provide no say for the people of Northern Ireland for anything other than a final transfer of sovereignty. That is not what was promised by those who supported the Belfast Agreement and is no basis for political stability. This is further compounded by the fact that the founding statute for our position in the United Kingdom is now to be read subject to the protocol. Article 6 of the Act of Union of 1800 created the economic and political union, which is the United Kingdom. And
between Great Britain and Ireland, Northern Ireland did not exist. But the court has already said that the UK government can overwrite, in a sense, the Act of Union. You're still barking up the wrong tree here. You don't have a legal standing. You don't have a legal leg to stand on, I should say. You have nothing. You keep banging on about how this has broken the Act of Union, this is breaking the Good Friday Agreement, and the British government have come back and said, no, it hasn't. If the British government were saying, yes, it has, then there's something you could do about it. But the EU doesn't agree with you, the Irish government doesn't agree with you, the UK government itself doesn't agree with you. Why are you continuing down this road?
Guaranteed that we would be on the same footing as those in Great Britain. Yet last week, the Court of Appeal concluded that the European Union Withdrawal Agreement Act 2018, and I quote, does bring about a difference in footing between the citizens of Northern Ireland and those remaining in the remaining part of the United Kingdom in terms of trade.
Yes. And what do you want in terms of trade? But not the constitutional position of Northern Ireland. Look, the protocol affects trade. It does not affect the constitutional position of Northern Ireland. Geoffrey Donaldson is still a British citizen. That has not changed. Northern Ireland's role in the United Kingdom has not changed. All that has changed is there are checks and declarations required on goods moving from Great Britain into Northern Ireland. The constitutional position of Northern Ireland has not changed one iota.
This means that British citizens living in Northern Ireland no longer enjoy the fundamental right to trade freely within their own country.
But that's not a fundamental right. There isn't a right to trade. Where? Show me in the Constitution where there's a right to trade. So he doesn't have anything. He's grasping at straws here, but he will continue to do this. As I said at the beginning, he relied on Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson failed to deliver. He relied on Lord Frost. Lord Frost failed to deliver. He relied on Liz Truss. She has so far failed to deliver. They relied on the courts. The courts failed to deliver. Now he's grasping at the Good Friday Agreement, which his party disagreed with when it was first drafted. They voted against it. So at what stage are they going to realize reality and say, we've lost, we have to move on? We won our Brexit, but we've lost the match, we've lost the battle, because we supported something that undermines the union. Eventually will undermine the union. It's not the protocol, it's Brexit itself. But they will never renounce Brexit. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.